Hey guys, it's Danny. I just finished a repotting video, and since I'm still in a mental state of repotting, I thought, well, let us address the Catasetum orchids, which do need repotting, and talk a little bit about them, because I'm sure most of you don't know that I still have Catasetums. Yes, I do. I just don't talk about them too much because I have a problem with them. And today I'm going to tell you what my problem with Catasetum orchids is and how I'm going to try to fix it this year. Don't judge me. I feel so bad for being rude to her. Why did I feel bad? Freestyle comedy? No, not my thing. Right, so we're gonna try to address the reoccurring problem that I have with Catasetums, which some of you might know about. But before we start, don't forget to give this video a like if you end up enjoying it or you're having a good time or it's amusing to you. And subscribe for more videos. It's free and I post multiple times a week. But if you're feeling extra about it, do consider further supporting my channel by becoming a member, using the affiliate links down below, checking out the merch, or using the super thanks option down below my videos. Right, let's start. So, if you were to watch my videos on Catasetum orchids from a million years ago, aka 7, you would see, not this, you would see beautiful orchids with blooms. What happened, Danny? Well, I'll tell you what happened. I switched countries, and it just so happens that in this environment, I am very prone to all sorts of bugs, including thrips. And guess what? Those bugs absolutely love to decimate my Catasetum orchids. And here's the funny thing. If they do a number on the leaves, as the pseudobulb matures, as it's still immature, then that pseudobulb will not grow to its full potential, no matter how many roots we have, because it's just not going to photosynthesize. These are deciduous orchids. We don't have leaves, and that is normal. They lose their leaves once a year. But because they don't have past leaves, how are we going to photosynthesize enough to grow a massive new growth? We're just not going to. So because year after year I have issues with either thrips, either mealybugs even, either spider mites, either this or the other, I don't have nice looking Catasetums anymore. They don't even bloom. They do not want to produce canes larger than this. What is this madness? It needs to stop. So I'm gonna try to do something, and I've tried in the past all sorts of stuff. I'm not a fan of insecticides, you guys know that, so I tried to grow them in IKEA cabinets, protected, even outside, where I have, let's say, predatory insects. No, it did not help. The leaves are just too yummy, perhaps. So what am I going to do this year, you ask? Well, I am going to use some insecticides. Don't worry, the roots will be eliminated. They don't actually make it from year to year. These are true dormancy orchids, and mine actually do go, this particular one does go dormant. So it loses leaves, it loses roots, and it's a common thing to do to just cut away all of the older roots. If you're worried that I ripped some roots, you're not gonna like this part. It's okay. All right, so let me get you guys in a little bit closer, because I realized in repotting videos, you don't need to necessarily see my face. We're not repotting my face. That sounds horrid. I'm going to be using an insecticide that I do not need to spray on the leaves. Hopefully we're not gonna use that one too, but we are going to use in the potting mix. And it is the one that I showed you in a previous video. I'm just tidying up a little bit the root system here. I mean, at this point, we can do without this pseudobulb, but I'm gonna let it be. It doesn't take up a lot of space. We have a new growth. It's already producing roots, and it will consume the energy provided by these old pseudobulbs. So don't worry about the old roots. All right, so we're gonna be using these sticks from Substral Celaflor. These are sticks that contain insecticide, but sadly also fertilizer. I don't like to use extra fertilizer when I already have the MSU because I'm gonna overdo it. But the good thing with Catasetums is that they are just so hungry. They consume so much fertilizer that these will probably actually help, both as insecticide and fertilizer, without much issues for these orchids because they are heavy feeders. I definitely want to try it. So I'm going to test it out. if I manage to get through the summer, these guys, without insects on them, then this thing works. And I will be very surprised if I do. I don't have that much confidence or trust in these products, but I'm going to give it, for sure, a good try. So I'm going to put here half a stick, because why not? We can absolutely put half a stick in here, because I feel like that. I don't think it's gonna be too much for this orchid. I put the stick somewhere in the middle, not really quite at the top. The roots will go down. Just gonna put a little bit more sphagnum moss. These orchids are also very, very thirsty. So the combination of moss and the slow release, I don't know if it's slow release, the combination of moss and that stick is good, because the stick needs to be moist in order to release its potions, its magic. And this orchid needs to be moist, and sphagnum moss stays moist. How it all comes together. Going to tie the pseudobulb to the stake, which does do a good job. It does hold it, but at some point the orchid will be rooted, so I will not need the stake. And of course, let us go ahead and add the top layer of bark. It's okay if the new growth gets slightly buried. Bark is very, very airy. There we go. I pulled her out. And let's put the tag back. By the way, this is Fred Clarkiara After Dark Black Pearl. This is supposed to be a black orchid. Do you guys know that black orchids exist, kinda? Well, they do, and I actually have footage of one, and it's a Catasetum. Now, when I say black, take it with a grain of salt. It is actually a very dark purple. I would love to have a pure black orchid or even a flower, but they don't exist to my knowledge. It's always a very dark purple, but if we imagine it really hard, it's black. Well, Catasetums are known to be some of the blackest orchids you can have. This one, together with the Monia rara Millennium Magic, are the most known orchids to be black, and the footage you see is from the Millennium Magic, which I have. Should we go ahead and repot that one too? Yes, I will. Since we're here and it's early, we're gonna do that. It needs to be done. So these are amazing, amazing orchids, and they are pretty easy to grow. I have a tutorial from the good old days when I didn't have issues with so many bugs, so I'll link you to it down below. It's really no big deal. They are quite easy to grow. They don't need humidity. They just need a lot of water, pretty much, and fertilizer. And other than that, they do grow in home conditions. Don't worry about it. Don't mind me not be able to grow them well. Don't get scared of that. You can grow them, I promise. But the drawback with all of these is that the foliage is just so thin and I guess so appetizing to pests that they are incredibly prone to pests. And the problem is with their pattern of growth. Let's say a cattleya gets attacked by some thrips. Well, we do have the older pseudobulbs with the foliage as well, so that we can still produce energy. With Catasetums that grow a full shoot on high speed in 1 year, especially if we don't have previous leaves on, because you will not have. All of the older leaves, they pretty much die off in the autumn. Imagine all of the plant's future lies on that brand new shoot, pretty much. And if something impairs its growth, such as a very bad attack from thrips, then you're gonna have what I have, some immature pseudobulbs which never grow to their full potential and they never bloom. And that is sad. My redeeming quality here is that I still have roots, but foliage-wise, it has been a disaster for the past 6 years, I kid you not. And I've had just about enough of it, pretty much. So that's why I'm trying this Stella Flor, I don't know how to pronounce it. And if it works, you guys, I'm gonna be the happiest because I do truly enjoy Catasetums. Sally, do you guys remember the Wine Delight? Yeah, I don't have any of it anymore because the thing is, if the thrips attack the foliage to such an extent that the orchid slowly withers off, then it withers off and there's nothing I can do about it. There's no other foliage, no other leaves, no other backup to help me. If the new growth constantly dies year after year, in the end, the entire orchid dies. Not cool at all. Let's get the Millennium Magic since we're talking about her. There she be. Do you think she's looking better? No, she is not. She is just as tiny. So let us repot her as well. We're gonna go through the same procedure, and since I have half a stick left, I'm just gonna use it in her pot. This one has a bigger new growth that I'm gonna show you. Nice roots growing, very nice. By the way, in one of the years, I actually left on the old roots, and guess what? By the middle of summer, they all died and the pot was smelling awful. So that's why I cut all of them now. Oh no, I think I cut a good root, a new root. It's okay. We have lots of them on the way. Well, this pseudobulb is not hanging on. Well, okay. The good thing with Catasetum orchids is that you can actually propagate them from single pseudobulbs without much stress. The problem is when the pseudobulbs are immature. And trust me, a full-size Millennium Magic is 3 times the size of this. It's, well, it feels weird to show you because you don't really have a scale of figuring out, but it can be a very, very tall orchid. What I have here is a disgrace. I'm not proud of myself. Let's find another pot. So yeah, coming from those videos to this, what's been happening in the past few years, it is embarrassing, you guys. I cannot get it right. But it is what it is, and you should know this. If you have issues with pests, with these guys, oh brother, I feel you. You gotta do something about it because they're not the type of orchid that handles pests very, very well. And the past 6 years have proven it to me. So again, putting half a stick there, gonna stabilize the orchid in the very same way. And I really, really do hope these sticks work. If they don't work, I have another measure that we'll talk about when the time comes. But I really do hope these sticks work. Some of you actually asked me where I got it from, what brand it is. Got it from Amazon. This is how the packaging looks like. You can pause the video and take a little snapshot. Substral, ce la flor, depending how you pronounce it. And so far on the mini Phalaenopsis that I used it on, it did a good job, I think. Either the pests didn't reach it, although I put it in the middle of the shelf. Either it worked, I don't know. I really don't know. I'm hoping it works because this would be a great solution for houseplants. It is actually designed for houseplants. Those guys can take a lot more fertilizer. They're also potted in soil, so this guy sits wet for more time. It's more optimal to use them with potted plants for sure. I just hope it works. I really, really hope it works because I've had it so much with thrips. I'm starting to be more proactive about it. And actually, not proactive, I've always tried to take care of them. Problem is, if I go about it with my non-toxic means and all of that, it doesn't work. I have too many orchids to stay on top of everybody, so I need something stronger. Right, so we're gonna put bark on top as well. With this amount of fertilizer, I suspect the cyanobacteria will flourish if I give it light and water. So let's not give it light. There we go. And yes, these orchids are just so beautiful. There is another Catasetum that I will want to have at some point. It has pink flowers and they look amazing. I don't remember the name. I'll try to put an image on the screen. It's so expensive though. Every time I want to purchase it, it's just so expensive. And all I think about is I'm gonna spend so much on it and then have it be like this or decimated completely by thrips. No thanks. But I would love to have it. I think it is one of the most beautiful orchids that I've ever seen. And I would love to have the Wine Delight once again, but I don't want to put them through this. I don't want to put myself through this. This is saddening. So I'm putting my trust in you, Substral. Please work. Be lovely if you would. Thank you. Right, so we're pretty much done. I'm gonna find some decorative pots for these two. And we are pretty much done here. We're gonna do the outro. Alrighty, we are pretty much done. I actually do have another one, which I'm gonna get to a little later. I actually forgot what the other one is, but these are the only 3 Catasetums that I still have. And you guys, if this works, I want to purchase that pink Catasetum that I told you. It's beautiful. Yes, honey, I want to also get the Wine Delight because it's just amazing and it smells amazing. And if you grow Catasetums nicely, and you've never had the Wine Delight, get the Wine Delight. It's amazing, you're gonna love it. And also, of course, one of these black ones. These, a few years ago, they were pretty expensive. Not sure how they are now. If you don't like the price, don't get them. It's fine. At some point, the prices will come down. That's what I do. I'm waiting for the prices to come down. You don't necessarily need them now, but if the price is right, they're beautiful. The Millennium Magic actually bloomed once, and she is beautiful. Highly recommend them, but beware of the pest issue, because it's one of those make or break the hobby for you. So alrighty guys, thank you so much for watching. The dog is barking, so it's time for me to end. I hope you've enjoyed hanging out with me today, and yeah, I hope you have a great day. With that said, I'll keep you up to date. Keep your fingers crossed for me, and I'll see you next time. Bye!